Welcome once again to this Elysium. Last time we basically discover a little bit of a drug conspiracy or something of the like, founding the strike and all, and we're talking with a representative of One Piles, and she gave us information basically on exchange of us investigating that. So now she's gonna get but now, because it's gonna be probably late and most people are gonna go to sleep in just like a little bit, I decide, hey, let's talk some of the
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Now we're gonna talk some of the what's it called? Questions about reality, yes.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. And what is exactly the big time?
The revolution.
Ah, and that is the revolution I keep hearing about.
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intraspecies warfare.
And the apes, were they evil?
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
Sounds like evil to me.
On the other hand, maybe you're right.
She turns north to the bombed-out building lining the waterfront.
It takes time for the apes to change and work. Perhaps what happened here was part of that time and part of that work.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
She likes the totality of it.
You could say they got totally shot in the head.
Indeed. They piled them in mass graves in Ozon. And, well, that's the last anyone heard of those people.
Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
I mean, sounds like they should have shot more people in the head then.
This does not represent the official RCM opinion.
The lieutenant says from behind his notes.
Don't worry. Klas Mazov shot 15 million people in the head. But that was all the way over in Grad.
Anyone else got shot in the head on the opposite side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head. Or thrown beneath a horse. Or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Cowardly king.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing. So he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
So who got the mineral rights? I mean, probably the
liberals got mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
Okay, and by liberals, you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How did the liberals win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
Makes sense. If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
But you say the liberals already took everything.
The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The Coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
And who are the Coalition?
The Coalition of Nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The arms center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralists? We do represent the Coalition, or a little, or sort of policing, I guess.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
I don't think I'm a moralist, man. Not just technically, but practically. For a moment, there was hope. I always pick the option that doesn't commit to anything. Then hell yes, I am, and also no. That is very moralist. I don't think I'm a moralist, man.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did the Sara do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
No way.
Indeed. Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Oof, this is hitting close to home.
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors and rock music, but they didn't know anything about prions. Nobody did.
Where did all the spread? Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
And what came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
No money, misery. Our lives are very different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
And what happened to the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-easlary communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
So you're saying it's been like this for 43 years?
Time flies.
What have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled. Offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
And were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
Okay, so I guess that's enough for us to get some reality, I guess. Okay, what should we put some points into? I think we're gonna need some interfacing. I'll wait on composure. Welcome to reality, baby.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
Okay, so which side was Wild Pines Group on?
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not.
They got lucky.
Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom.
You wouldn't have side with the king. You would have side with the king? I don't think she would.
I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was.
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that answer.
10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company.
She narrows her eyes, turning her gaze to the future out of professional habit. All she can see are vague outlines of a great winding down. The doldrums. People killed, but no great transitions of wealth. It makes her feel old, and something else. Something you can't put your finger on.
I'm not fully sure. Yeah, I can't put my finger on it either. What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
No, her first.
I ask you, what are you in all this?
And I asked you, past-less detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
I would have thought a medical solution sounded like Sarah drove those people mad. I would have killed more, 400 million, if that's what it took. That is definitely the communist answer, but that's... wow. I would have positioned myself very precisely. I would have made it out with the mineral rights. I mean, I hate to be like, oh, I don't know, but I mean, I don't know what I would have done differently.
And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe even right here, during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the Coalition took the city.
Probably.
No, almost certainly. The Commune would have forced you. Such was the fate of the undecided.
That's enough about that.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
I want to know what you are.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
Say nothing.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
Dios mío! Gerald Cross. I live her!
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. Perhaps you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra anymore. Not in broad daylight. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride. Forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
Jesus. Stop ruining the moment, little weird stuttering. I forgive you, but only because you're charming.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
That dialect is obeisant. You recognize it's a quote from somewhere. A play written way back in the Franco-Nigerian century.
And persuades them to addict themselves to his whatever.
Ah, maybe you remember more than you let on, despite whatever brain damage the alcohol may have inflicted.
Vile de Yule, shake your head slowly.
I hope we are able to continue as friends despite my scaly bulk and the treacheries committed by my people against the suzerain and the commune. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
Would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
You're a smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself.
And so am I.
A smart boy getting smarter, one basic term of reality at a time.
So you would call yourself a patriot?
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
The lieutenant puts down his notes and gives her a look. So you have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
She closed her eyes, then opened them again. Thinking some spirit of course. That's pretty bad. Maybe I could put some clothes. What is this? Spread your hands.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar region?
What? Keep guessing.
Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
What? I don't even... Really?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I mean, what is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two.
What is Rue de Saint-Ghislaine 33A?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
She looked at the crumbled facade. I didn't understand a single word she said. A pre-revolutionary tenement. All buildings are called tenements. You see, the new building, bâtiment. What's a bâtiment? After les bâtiments. I'm very confused.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
So who live in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, a young girl in odd clothes gives Joyce an evil eye. A red paintbrush held to her throat.
Wonderful.
What is that? Point to Cindy the Skull.
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yeah.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags.
You mean we're old?
She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, now explain the same thing, but like to a child.
Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
You know, I think I might be part of the infraculture.
And what would that be?
Cop.
She lets out an unrestrained laugh, the crow's feet stretching onto her cheeks.
My reality-impaired colleague is not so far off.
The lieutenant wandered back into the conversation. He'd be sorting his notes.
Many of the RCM's fashions, even weapon preferences, borrow heavily from classic Vespertine cop shows. My precinct alone has 3 officers who go by the name Ace. But please, do continue this reality exploration. I was just remarking.
Yes, let's.
Belong to cop infraculture. I guess. It's not a terrible. Do I have an extra point? I do. I think I could put a close and try that out. I want to try that first. 1 second.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Yes, my hostel room calls.
We can pick up where we left off.
Nah, we're gonna stay more time. I don't know why they even give you the option. You can just stay as late as you want, as long as there's things that you can do. I need my... Yeah, there we go. My cup. Spitted the corpse. Let's try again.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality. My favorite.
6 kilometers southwest
Yeah.
of the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass.
What? Junior officer takes an aim at the rabid black...
To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?"
That's me.
Yes, he lost his mind.
That's
Tilbrook
me.
Answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
The Revachol Citizen Militia?
Preciso mundo.
Good. And what is the Revachol Citizen Militia? Kim explained a little bit to me, but I would like to know more.
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
Are we?
We are.
You say de facto?
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
Basically, like, I think we'd have this conversation to some extent before. We're just basically, you know, like, we're not real cops, but we're doing what real cops do, and basically, you know, just, you know, really maintaining the status quo and defending our bosses, like, you know, interests, the coalition. What do you mean?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
So I'm basically a lackey of capital. I'm basically a thrall to forage and interested. So I'm basically one of the good guys. So I'm basically going to avoid this subject and ask the next question in this line of inquiry. So I'm basically a lackey of capital. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call a thrall to forage interest. I mean, kinda. Basically one of the good guys. I mean, we're cops, so I mean, I don't know about that one. So I'm basically a lackey of capital.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it.
She leans in.
Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
Why?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the International Zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please
Well,
continue.
I don't know. That seems like the more level-headed answer, but I don't know. I don't know. What I think about this? I don't think it's like, oh, they will never forgive you, but I do think there's like, you know, certain stigma about it.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
Thank you, ma'am.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
Thank you. Conceptualization. What is reaching for something fundamental? We need to roll a we have 12 for Germa Boo through complete.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it. In the DeLorean century. When humanity was high on this world. Discovering more and more of it. These archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium. The world need a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
And what is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
How about it's a ball?
That's looking less and less likely, Detective. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
So we don't know even if this world is round?
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait, what the hell are you telling me?
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be.
The boys become homely, calm. She lets a moment pass. You're telling me that the world is covered in this pale, and what do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Doesn't sound like any kind of disco I'd like to go.
But you already have. And you're doing just fine, despite the rubble.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
This is like the first day we're in this reality, quote unquote. And we already found out that the world is sick.
The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
This is not a subject that he's really want me to know much about. he thinks he's gonna drive me a little more crazy. You said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. Remember, we have a cadaver to attend to.
His voice is low, but firm. All she can say is,
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I don't want to. I want to know what the pale is.
I don't think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise.
I know, but I feel like this is important.
Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world.
Talk to Joyce about the pale without Kim.
this is not going to happen with the lieutenant present, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Hey, Kim, trust me. And we do have an extra point that we can put in volition. Ask for Kim to step away while you discuss the pale.
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't.
I mean, yeah, what the hell is he gonna say? I'm like, Kim, can I have a moment? Kim, can I talk to the ma'am alone for a second?
Fine.
He steps away with his notes.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
I'm a grown-ass man. Exactly. Kim needs to chill out for a second. I want to know about the pale. Now, what is the pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Okay, I want to know what is this thing that is covering like 70% of the world. Yes, what is the pale?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the interinsulary mass.
Okay. And what is an isola?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is...
an oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Oh. That's bad. Okay. What is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
The negation of...
That's right. The negation of being.
She tied her hood around her neck, is skull outside. That is scary. That's scary. You know what's scary? Even dying is not as scary as to just be like, oh, you know, the nothingness, you know? It's like, oh. Is it here? Looks around.
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
So 6,000 kilometers from the end of the world?
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And points north. There?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
What are his physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
There's a slippery article in there.
It is the pale or pale?
Pale when it's particular, this territory of pale. The pale when it's pale in its entirety. Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
Alright. If we're surrounded by pale, how do you go from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us. It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The pale can damage the mind? Probably I have that then.
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
Oh, the pale driver. So she drives through the pale. That's why she has like memories that she doesn't even know if they're hers. Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
But you're not a civilian passenger?
No, nameless detective of the citizens' militia. I am a member of the entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories. Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey
that's what I say.
in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
Neat.
That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
What is entreprenetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
And did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pretermodern crossings. Successful navigation of the pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entrepreneuric changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the pale. The only real advance in pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aristocratic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near pale to far pale.
That's scary. The entire thing doesn't work.
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much pale is there compared to the world?
The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment or...
What do you think, Detective?
I mean, I think it's growing. There is more pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown
Well,
rate.
those guys studying that better hurry the hell up.
An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
I mean, I don't think it's extremist at all. I think it might happen.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Well, let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I'm not who I am. I'm trying to be a better version of myself. I sometimes sense vague shadow of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the pale?
That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Her eyes tense, crow feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation will be my masterpiece, the one they remember me by, I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi.
I will.
I ran a check on him and he is very competent.
I know,
Meanwhile-
he's the best.
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
I think we got all of them. I'll take a composure point, by the way.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
Right. Let's get to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
See, I'm fine, Lieutenant. I'm fine. Let's talk to this.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Main Hub Building A.
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid game.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Fuck off, pig! I'm Kuno. I don't give a shit. Let me in. Sorry, I was trying random doorbells. I didn't have anything important.
Please don't do that. Doorbells are not toys, and this one isn't even working properly. Please don't call us again. Thank you.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Andro Orlando Hare, SCA.
You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair.
I had another. By the way, I had another point. Should I put anything into anything? Not for now. Artepis boxing for young athletes and gym.
All you hear is static, but no one answers the call.
24-hour window.
You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens.
Emma Fashion Utterleader.
You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call.
Pavron taxi. The rest has been burned off.
Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore.
How about Slipstream SCCA?
You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything.
Hello, is anyone there?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
This is a woman's voice, crackling and fragile through the static.
Have you come to place an order?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
Hold on, Tricentennial Electric? I thought it was calling Slipstream SCCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Sorry?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Do we know each other?
Michelle, just please.
She stopped and you can hear her breathing heavily, her breath distorted by ancient static.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Of course I can't. It's just that I've been going through some tough times.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Oh God, please don't cry.
She doesn't answer.
Hey, are you still there?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What just happened?
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
Alright, goodbye then. Hands out the
Press
call.
the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
Fortress, let's keep calling. Before we do this, let's keep calling. Also, it's weird that it's even. 4 and even 1 point from wax cylinder. I don't know what that even means. Fortress accident, SCCA.
Silence. No one's home at Fortress accident.
How about Revachol Ice City?
Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
Main Hall Building B, whirling in rags. Weird.
Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
How dare you? S Delta Pinball, entrance from Building B. If whirling in rags is Building B, is the pinball also in the building?
Silence. No one answers your call.
How about the empty car?
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
He takes a step back, inspecting the other names on the list. Let's try Volition.
Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger, healthier, and...
Yeah.
Alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm not gonna drink or do drugs or smoke or anything. I promise. I'm gonna be a clean boy. Call her again. Press the doorbell to Slipstream SCB is SCA.
There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call. It's cold outside, and you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Last time we talked, there was some confusion. You got me mixed up with someone else.
My God.
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
What? Before you can finish the sentence, the voice continues speaking.
My gosh, I didn't think I would hear your voice again.
Didn't you already say that the last time we talked?
Michelle, just please.
Even her breathing, that was her voice drop when she finished the sentence, sound exactly the same.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Is this some kind of joke?
Do you think it's... No. It's clearly like a recording or something. It doesn't matter what I said. You're just going to continue, right?
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling and echoing in the box.
Is it over? Can we talk now?
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
Oh, the bell. That's probably because of the bell, maybe. Say nothing.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you.
You're recording.
She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this.
Just a recording, and here I thought...
Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going.
Let's keep listening.
A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds.
Is anyone there?
No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
Oh, I should probably put some points in Shiver now that I think about it. Shiver is really fun.
So...
The strange alien thought pattern ends. The lieutenant cuts in, inspecting the intercom.
it was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve.
Wait, a recording trapped in the circuitry?
Mm-hmm. I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later.
He looks at the sea, almost wistful. Something weird just happened to me.
Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
Fair.
That is true.
And fair. Let's leave. Well, I tried to avoid it for like the longest time, but let's just deal the let's do the stupid calls.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft...
Oh, we can do the... Right, we can do the
computer
thing
gauge.
with the headlights.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
Press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl.
That was loud. Press the button level headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Got it.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. There's just lights, dude.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet The major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look around you.
You catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle in the distance. Sounds. 2 men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window.
Ah, Martinez at night.
Where are we on this? Point to the halogen map.
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
Alright, let's look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the different rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet.
But 18, that's a big, large, but not too large of a number. I'm sure it's fine. What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them individually.
You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
How about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
That's it?
That's it.
Hey King, what do all this hole mean? Points to the dot on the watermark.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
18 years I've been doing this?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Got drawn like a megastar?
Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
I used to be good. There's some solace, I guess. What's the last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I am a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obviously the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. Yeah, no shit.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
He says, declining to elaborate.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe cars? Come on, open up for me, Kim. Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
He points to your yellow gardening gloves. Maybe.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Alright, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics.
I can see my statistics. Alright. Still don't have a map. This one is important. We still have physical instrument. Why would I have to do the trash container? We already opened it. Abandoned lorry. Damaged ledge. Pile of Ethernet. Oh, I had to open that. I think it was after talking with Kuna, so there's really no point on it. So we have Superstar Cop 3, Apocalypse Cop 1, Sorry Cop 3, Boring Cop 1, 13 Communist responses, 2 Fascist response, 2 Ultra-Liberal response, 1 Moralist response. Good Cop, Bad Cop 9, Honor 3, People Kill 3, okay, that was the last, okay. Well, fuck it, let's, again, like I said, let's just do the thing.
You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, as you tap on the gate.
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you.
Okay, pick up the radio.
The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line, the soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Hi Alice, this is the officer from 41 Precinct speaking. Nice to meet you.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I was told I need... Oh yeah, the doctor. I need to speak to the Lazarus.
It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
You hear a man clearing his throat briskly. Nix Gothenburg. I was told by people that I should talk to you.
Oh, it's you.
He sounds unpleasantly surprised.
Was that a snarl or a suppressed groan? No love for you here.
You know who I am?
Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me.
Sure, Bear. Can you tell me about myself, as in who I am?
Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do.
I couldn't reach up and grab a tie from a spinning fan without unbearable pain shooting through my arm.
Hard to tell exactly what it was over the phone. Could be a combination of peripheral neuralgia and high blood pressure. Could be that you were having a heart attack.
I think it was the latter.
Or, actually, it could be both, given your profile.
Both? That sounds bad.
Yep.
I feel like I've been damaged.
Yes, probably in more ways than one.
You're detecting very little in the way of empathy from Dr. Gottlieb.
So what do I do?
Cut down on the drinking, pal. In fact, cut off the drinking. The drugs, too. Anything else?
Got it.
Abstinence could have immediate positive effects on your health.
Yeah, I'm literally trying. I think I did have a heart attack.
And you survived it. Congratulations. Are you mobile?
Yeah.
Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary trouble all the time. Also, death is a natural part of life.
Accept it. The body is an object, and objects break down. Do what good you can with yours, before the rest goes too.
That's a depressing but realistic thought. I should, yeah. I lost my memory, all of it.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
There is no surprise in his voice, only careless superiority.
You're not surprised? Okay, anything else?
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side, you've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
I'm trying.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you, or doesn't care.
Is there anything you can do for me?
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
Yes, I want the truth.
You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home. We don't have the funds to deal with rock stars past their prime. And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like Mectorson.
It's not fucking cryoactylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Shouldn't be like all static and stuff like in the radio. I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Cyanoacrylate is superglue.
Well, I guess that is for now. The phone clicks. Suddenly you hear the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Could you contact me to the 41 prison? I have something I need to report.
Just a second, officer.
She puts you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greeting you from the radio. His rattly voice is oddly familiar.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, Station 41. I got an urgent business. Over.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over.
Just reporting in. Over.
10-18, state your message, sir.
I need to report my badge missing.
10-9, over.
My badge. I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Oh, god damn it.
Is it him? What does he want?
A dry voice asks in the background.
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
I'm gonna say anything.
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
He says, fighting off laughter.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge.
He will lose it if, like, the story could revolve around it, you know, it's fictional character.
Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Come on, operator. Tell him to stop. This is serious.
He's asking you to stop. Says this is serious.
Of course it's serious. He lost his fucking badge.
Satellite Officer Vicmar concurs. Losing your badge is serious. Over.
Can we just move on? I want to get a report and be done with it.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
There you fucking glue your eyes, idiot.
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Enough with this, I have other things to discuss.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
The animated conversation in the back is making it difficult for him to hear you.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
The room roars with laughter.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is.
Oh fuck. Aldo. Oh god, it's not there.
Okay, it's gone. Your gun is most definitely gone.
Fuck.
Don't sweat it, Bratan. You don't need a gun to have fun. We can still have fun. It's not all over.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Oh god. Should I put a point in drama? Do we said nothing? Fuck it.
Lying over the phone, it's easy. Just say it like it's the truth, and then it becomes it.
No, of course I didn't lose my gun.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that kind of news to the captain. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't have some gangbanger running around with it.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance?
I'm not gonna tell I lose my fucking gun too. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
Okay, 10-4, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through.
What there's to think about?
You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
I know he's not.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
I don't know what you... I prefer refer to my full... Any news about my... Whatever, let's wrap this up.
Understood,
Never
sir.
mind.
Over.
Bye.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
The static ends with a loud click, then everything is silent in the cabin.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier, around a dozen cops. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, a buzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minot enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
She asks, startled. Jen Bickmar turns to her and said,
What happened is my partner made contact, and it's not good. He's lost his badge. He seemed confused, delirious even.
I didn't sound delirious, come on. He stopped to reflect.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean, near the entrance.
I don't like this guy.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
I didn't drink. It's been like, come on. It's been the entire day. It's 12:21.
Yeah, Mac's right. That was some gnarly shit there.
Oh, come on.
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Minot looked down at her neatly polished black shoe. There is a quiet firmness to her voice when she speaks.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I'm not lost!
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
The crowd in the room has started fidgeting uncomfortably. Someone's tried to slip out unnoticed.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words.
He sighs heavily and turns to address the room.
This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain. Or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to pull his shit together.
I don't need a day. I'm already put together. I promise. I promise.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Old boy lights another cigarette.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
Pick up the radio again. Let's might as well finish the calls.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I need you to connect me to a civilian, Sylvie. She might have reported a murder.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Kim, did Garda give you Sylvie's number?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
I thought like phone numbers were rare because people don't really have them. Why is it so long? Wait patiently.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite a lot of time has passed.
Maybe I shouldn't have called that late.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
A female voice greets you through a static. It sounds like she's a million miles away from here. Hello, this is the police calling. I have some questions for you about your last day at work.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
You quit your job at the Whirling. Why?
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
Why are you comfortable discussing it with me?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
Did you leave because of Gart?
What? Why would you even think that?
He told me he asked you out. Are you saying it didn't happen?
Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business. I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again.
Jesus Christ, I barely thought... was it you who called the police?
No, not me.
But why didn't you call? Didn't a corpse behind your workplace bother you?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the corpse.
What does this union have to do with anything? I mean, except being the kind of the police here, I guess.
No one calls the police. The union would get angry.
You can hear her adjust the receiver in her hand. What do you mean by that? I mean, I know what it means.
You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
I know, I don't need to push her. Looks like there's a limit to my authority then. Tell me why exactly did you let a corpse hanging in the back for the week instead of cutting out? I see, maybe there's something else you can tell me about.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the union. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Do you know who made the call?
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires.
You know, that actually happens here where I live.
People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, go on.
Have you seen my badge?
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
My badge is missing. Have you seen it anywhere?
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
I mean, Kip doesn't have a uniform. He seems real to me.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is.
Oh, shut up, composure.
There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Have you seen my gun?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
She sounds beyond this word, whatever this word. I show you my gun? When did it happen?
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Oh gosh, she stopped hesitantly. Not sure if she should continue. And what? What did I do?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them.
Off of what?
You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that.
Yeah, I assume people don't.
I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there.
Yeah, very artistic.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after.
Okay, I don't know what to say to that.
Me neither.
Why would I threaten to kill myself? I mean, look at this world. I would have loved to stay. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. Yeah, but what happened to my gun?
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask.
Have you seen my policeman uniform?
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on, the disco things.
Okay. Do you know how my paperwork ended up in the trash container behind the Whirlings?
Well, tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective?
She doesn't sound like she's actually that sorry. Yeah, that's fine. I think I got everything I need, thanks.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
She's ready to hang up. Wait, why does she seem angry with you? Empathy 4, very high. Guarded asking her out, we know that. An inexplicable feminist agenda. Why does she seem angry at you?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags, when she was still working there.
What do you mean? Oh, why is she angry at me? She literally told me I was waving my fucking gun around like a lunatic. What do you mean? Why was that even like a check mark, you know? Why was that even like a roll the dice to find out? It's so obvious, but whatever. Wait, before you go, you're mad at me, right? Tell me, what did I do? I can't remember anything.
I'm not mad, it's just...
You're a little
so
mad.
Drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit.
What skua thing?
The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there.
Damn. That doesn't sound anything like me. I love birds.
Yes, well...
The static on the radio suggests Sylvie doesn't have a comment.
Rubbish. You're a green hat and feather-toting bird watcher.
I think I might be a birdie. A bird-watching enthusiasm, you know?
That's wonderful, really. Maybe you should keep pursuing that hobby. Maybe it would calm you down a little.
Okay. A little passive-aggressive, but I'll let it slide. So you telling me that I was the one who made you want to quit?
Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I'd ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place.
I've been there, but so far I have a similar job, cleaning and stuff, you know, hotel management and stuff. I have never, you know, seen a cop waving his gun around and doing all that shit, you know. Never, so yeah.
I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you...
She pauses. Go on, I want to know what I did.
Well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive.
More than the people that were already fighting and sexually harassing you?
Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now.
Which song?
We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody.
Sorry about the song.
To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there.
You know what I realized? This game is like My Name is Earl. When you got like the list of shit that you've done and everyone is giving you shit all of a sudden and you have to like cross it off, you know, trying to make it up for everybody. That's why I like this game. I love My Name is Earl. I love that show.
I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know.
I don't know what I meant by myself, you know? I have no idea.
And then you screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being, and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? That you'd fire yourself, but you can't even do that.
That sounds intense.
And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen.
Oh, that was me.
I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself.
What do you mean, not even mentioning? You already did. Okay, I get it. I wasn't a very good tenant.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst.
I'm truly sorry for everything, Sylvie.
God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened.
But when I spoke to Guard, it seems like he thought you left because of him.
Wait, really? No, this is absolutely not true. I like Guard. I really do.
Didn't he cross the line when he asked you out?
No, I was actually flattered. I've always liked him. It was just bad timing. With the corpse and all that.
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the other side. The telephone cord coiled.
We can fix this little bit of negative karma by explaining the situation to Guard, probably.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. I should have told him, maybe.
I can tell him, except...
Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something.
I already told you I lost my gun. Whatever. What else did I sing beside the oh? I'm looking for a song.
Oh, all sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco and rock.
Maybe you can help me identify this one particular song?
Which one would that be?
One that was really sad.
Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in Saint-Saëns. Butchered that right up.
Her voices carry a tone of disappointment.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
Yep. Right. Thank you for talking with me. Take care.
You hear a sigh of relief.
Come on, that wasn't that bad. I let you blow out some steam.
Wordless. The call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57, over and out.
Her voice disappears into the void.
In the cabin, you see as...
Close the door. Well, I think we have done good for today. Wait, what is...
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally. And now we know your Copo type.
I thought I was a art cop. There are Copo types? Okay. What am I?
Guess.
Some kind of weapon cop?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then.
What, because I apologize for my action? I'm not just saying sorry just because. I do feel bad about it. I'm not trying to improve.
Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
You know, actually, I'm not sorry. I changed my mind.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes.
No, I'm not really sorry. Fuck off.
Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you.
I'm gonna be apologistic to who I won. But that also made me a sorry cop. Anyway, great. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, next episode we're gonna probably wrap up the night with Kim, our beautiful man Kim. And, you know, continue another day investigating the case. A lot been going on today. Not much super related to the cause, but still. Yeah. So, thank you everybody for watching. If you've been enjoying the content, please make sure to give a like, to comment, and subscribe. And we'll be seeing each other in the next video. Bye-bye.